Hatori.
What's up,
We are
Jeremy?
a podcast.
That's right.
They can't all be bangers. It is season two, technically, episode five.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you notice anything conspicuous about my background
It
behind me?
is all black.
I steamed it today, and it looks less better than I thought it was gonna look. I got out the thing because it's wrinkly and it's bothered me, but I can still see all these effing wrinkles. So
I'm so sorry that I didn't
no,
notice.
I
That
was
was
that
devastating.
that was kind of the joke, right? Is because I was like, oh, it's gonna look so much better. And I got on as soon as I got on camera, I was like, it doesn't look any better. So
Oh man, the efforts, the lengths go through for this podcast.
yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm Jeremy Herzer,
And I'm Hatori.
and we are doing stuff
Yep.
on the internet. Hattori, how was your week of songwriting?
I started off strong. Okay. I started off with a plan. I knew exactly what I was gonna try. Uh, and I hit a wall. So basically, I knew that I wanted to try out playing in a different mode. So
Oh,
like
oh, right. You were practicing that.
I wanted to do modal stuff. I pretty quickly landed on Mixolydian
Mm.
because it's very close to just the major scale. It's just slightly different. And so I was like, maybe that's like a good starting point, so I'm not getting too crazy, you know? And turns out, sorry, go ahead.
Can I pause you? Well, just for so because of my ignorance, a mode is basically the same. So, like if you're in a major scale, a mode is the same notes, but you play them in a different sequence, or what? You start on a different point in the scale, and
So if you, so the major key,
uh-huh.
the major scale is the Ionian mode.
Oh, okay,
And so there are, for every scale degree, there's a different mode.
okay,
So let's say if you're in C, like, oh wait, I
okay,
can't right now, and you play the major key, right? That's
yep,
Ionian. If you
okay,
play the notes of the major scale starting on D,
okay.
you're in Dorian.
Oh,
You start it on E, then you're in Lydian, I think.
oh, I
No,
see.
Phrygian. Sorry, I'm getting
Phrygian.
Phrygian. Yeah. So it's literally like it is. It's the actual notes that you're playing are all the same. You're just starting at different points.
Yeah. Well, the relationships are all different then.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah.
all, it feels totally different.
Hmm.
And it's really interesting because I like looked into um a lot of like famous songs that are in different modes, and there's a ton of them
Oh.
that I would never have known. Like I
Huh.
don't know, like I couldn't quite place like what this feeling is.
Yeah.
But like, okay, Sweet Home Alabama, everybody knows.
Oh. Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama. That's
Yeah.
an Lydian.
Interesting.
I know. And then do you know Clocks by Coldplay?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
Mixolydian.
no Sweet Home Alabama, but I know it.
It's not.
Yeah.
But right? It's that like it's kind of that weird, it's like
There's
most like it feels major, but it's like not.
yeah, it's funny now that you mentioned Sweet Home Alabama. Bump bump ba-da-da, bump bump ba-da-da, bump bump. It doesn't
Yeah,
really ever feel like it's solidly landing on the one,
exactly.
and I'd never noticed that before.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and Mixolydian is the fifth degree. So uh it still feels very like majory,
Yeah.
and like wrong, but not, it's just a little bit off. So yeah, I was having a great time
Hmm.
messing around in
That's
that.
cool.
Um and I feel like I'm one step closer to understanding or grasping the concept of modes.
Yeah.
However, it's interesting how much I realize that the melodies that I come up with
Hmm.
are rooted in either major or minor scale.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, and so it would definitely was getting out of my comfort zone to feel like this because it doesn't sound pop. It doesn't sound
Yeah.
major. It doesn't sound like anything that you would really hear on the radio. And so I was
Huh.
struggling with it.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, I've lost my train of thought.
I
It,
interrupted you right in the middle. So,
no, no, no. This is all me. It started off strong. I
hmm,
had lyrics, I had a concept, and then I couldn't find a melody that I even remotely liked.
yeah.
So I went to bed, woke up, and started brand new, changed the time signature, slowed it down, made it way creepier, and here
Oh,
we are.
yes. I like
Yeah.
creepy. I thought you were going to say, I will turn it into a show tune.
No, that's for next week. No, no, it is yeah, it's a totally different, really interesting. It was a great experiment, I'll
Yeah.
say. Yeah. How
Yeah.
about you?
It's fascinating you say that because I mean, I didn't, I was thinking, I didn't use the word experiment, but that's a good description. I was thinking exercise. Um, I had a pretty wild week just with work and stuff. So I didn't actually start. I mean, again, like you, I spent a lot of time thinking and processing and see if there's an idea that kind of grips you and grabs you. Um, I was thinking this week about uh, d doing a song that's just maybe not just drums and voice,
Hmm.
but and not in the like Palingenesis was that layered. I was thinking about doing something that's just drums and just either a voice or a voice that's doubled, right? So like just kind of this untethered melody line.
Mm,
Uh, and
that's cool.
yeah, and I messed around with that for, I don't know, a couple hours and I just kind of lost momentum on it.
Mm,
So I went back to, um, I don't know if you do this, but I have hundreds now of these video snippets on my phone
mm.
because what I've discovered is I will record the audio and then I'll be like, how the hell did I play that chord? Right. Even if I go through and say, here's the tuning I was in, I'll be like,
Yeah.
were these my hands? Was I using my hands or someone else's hand? So I've started recording video so I can see like, oh, I see. So I was going back through those and organizing them. And I just happened to hear one that I was like, oh, I forgot about that. That's freaking cool. And that's it. That's my
Yeah.
song for the week. And it is something totally foreign. It is musically not really that satisfying to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. So it wasn't, well, it probably is some kind of weird modal thing. I
It
don't know. You
probably
could tell
is.
me. Yeah.
Actually, so I've realized that I've written in modes before. I just didn't know
Oh,
it
accidentally.
totally by accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually think that you do as well.
Oh,
Uh,
probably. All the non-diatonic stuff is
oh,
like, yeah.
mm, yeah.
Hmm.
So
You know, we
probably
were musical geniuses.
are so smart.
I mean, I knew about both of us. Just waiting for the world to catch up. Well, you went first last week with
Yes.
your absolute certified banger of Mothballs
Oh
to
yeah,
listen
that's
to.
a good
Like,
one.
yeah, isn't that funny how you're like, I wrote a
Forgot about.
song last week?
Yeah.
That song was a killer. So I'll go first this week if that's okay.
Please do.
Okay.
Excited.
This song I am calling Bossa Nova
Mhm.
because it's a bossa nova. At least that's the splice sample for the drum part that I found. Um, says it's a bossa nova that sort of matches what I was doing. So I think you should be a good. Let's see if you can hear this.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Sunlight spilling through the glass, lighting up the corners of my mind. See my face reflected as I pass, but I don't recognize those eyes. Look into the stars for clarity, wondering what's hidden in my dreams. I already know what's best for me. running out of steam. I feel weight of ecstasy subside. I see truth dissipate like smoke. All the pressure I built up inside reminds me that I'm not in on the joke. If I peel my skin to look beneath, if I find the words to turn the phrase, would I find enlightenment inside of me? Would I find the exit to the maze? Seems to be it all resolves to luck and chance. Is the best thing I can do to sing and dance. The never-ending mystery of how best to live isn't worth the sleeplessness and grief it gives. Well, I've been looking for a way to reconcile the dissonant and the resonant, the sacred and the vile. But I keep finding questions where the answers ought to be. So I keep loosening my grip on this reality. Young and me would never have believed comfort to be found in letting go. Well, he was earnest, but he was naive. And now the more I learn, the less I know. Giving up the hope I'll find the perfect set of rules to guide me through a paradise within my mind. A Penrose stare to prove that I'm a fool. Seems to be it all resolves to luck and chance. Is the best thing I can do to sing and dance. The never-ending mystery of how best to live isn't worth the sleeplessness and grief it gives. Well, I've been looking for a way to reconcile the dissonant and the resonant, the sacred and the vile. But I keep finding questions where the answers ought to be. So I keep loosening my grip on this reality.
What? Okay, sorry. Question.
Yeah.
These chord progressions are wild.
Uh,
How how much of this did you have
all
the
of it.
video all of it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, not the chorus. Sorry, not the chorus. Yeah.
So cool. Can you quickly talk me through what you're doing?
All right. So starts on I'm actually going to uncapo, so because I know the chords that way. So A major 7.
Uh-huh.
And then G, I think this is a 13.
Uh-huh.
And I just really like that shape.
Uh-huh.
And then there was a F sharp minor.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, here. F sharp minor. And then an E, I think this is an E major 9. So I really like that chord. Then a C major 7.
Ooh.
And then B major 7. Oops, sorry. There, B major 7. And then F sharp major. And then an F major.
Whoa. Okay, that's so cool.
So it's a lot of just kind of moving down.
Yeah.
And then starting over and moving down. And again, that's go ahead, sorry. Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
Oh, thank you.
It keeps you on your toes the whole time. I think I just am shocked by the complexity of it. It sounds so complex, but also the lyrics are so deep as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
And so and with the bossa nova beat on top, that's crazy. It's dope. I have
thank you very much.
another question.
Yeah.
is a Penrose stare?
A Penrose stare is the that optical illusion of stairs that are always going up. And I had to
Yes.
look up what it was called.
Ah.
But I had that visual in my mind of like um the sense that, that sense of like one of these days I'm going to figure out the big secret or whatever, the thing that's going to make my life and my ideology click, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. And it's just kind of a good picture for that.
That's
Um,
so.
I don't think I would ever write the Penrose stare into a song, except for something like this, because I had kind of decided well, for a couple of reasons. I had kind of decided early on, like, I'm going to suspend judgment on this song because,
Mhm.
um, one, the melody was like just weird and elusive. And it kind of had to be because of those strange. I just recognized early on. I was like, well, if you're doing this, like, you're not going to write a Coldplay melody for this. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, just have fun with it and see what kind of weird thing you can come up with. And I thought, I really did have a good time working on this song.
I
Um,
can tell.
yeah. Oh, thanks. Good. And in fact, I want to play something for you.
Ooh.
Uh, I turned it off. I started writing some backing vocals for this, and I don't know. I don't want to prejudice you, but I have a particular image that came to mind when I listened back to what I'd recorded, and I'll share with that in just a second. So here's the backing vocals. Seems to be it all resolves to luck and chance. Is the best thing I can do to sing and dance. The never-ending mystery of how best to live. Yes, so I don't know if you can hear that,
Yeah.
but
I kind of like it.
well, it sounded to me like the chickens on the Muppet Show, and I couldn't at that point. I just could not. So I was like, well, we're done with that. But it made me laugh really hard when I heard. So
Yeah, no,
that's what it kept sounding. I
that's
thought, you know
not
what?
where
We're
when
done.
I heard it, that's not what I
Yeah,
heard. But it is like it's so fun. Like
yeah.
it just so
It's
much color to it. Uh,
bubbly and
it
yeah,
is bubbly,
yeah,
which is so like I think honestly it's contrasting to like the lyrics,
yeah.
which is also kind of fun.
Yeah, it's interesting is I wasn't sure I just started writing lyrics today, and I wasn't sure what the song was going to be about. Um it's Cinco de Mayo, which, I didn't not intend to I forgot about that until I was kind of halfway through this, and so I didn't intend to write any kind of Latin themed thing, but um I didn't really know what it was going to be about. And so I was kind of just meandering through some thoughts and kind of ended up where I did, which, I think there's a lot of stuff in here that I agree with, but I didn't intend to make this so like kind of heady and serious. I actually started, my sister-in-law works in, well, anyways, that for her work, they are bringing in a llama for like it's like a trained llama, and they feed it carrots and stuff. And I went last year and it's awesome. It was rad. And I was thinking about, part of me was like, I started writing or started thinking through lyrics like what from the perspective of the llama, but I wasn't going to write this as though I'm a like Hosanna will hear this and go, oh, he's pretending to be a llama. Like it was going to be
Yes. Yeah.
so. So that's where I started, and this is where I ended up. So
Oh my God.
yeah, it was meant to be. I meant for this to be a little more fun, but I was just went with it.
Wow. What that is, yeah, there's no way I
It's a
would have
big
ever
leap.
guessed that you're
Well, there's
from.
nothing left of that
Yeah.
original storyline. So
This is why I feel
yeah.
like artists talking about their songs is the best thing in the world. Never, never
Yeah.
guess where it actually came from, and the
Yeah.
listener is never gonna get that,
Yeah.
which is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Everyone gets their own take on it, which is
Yeah.
it's cool. But wow, yeah, it's awesome. Like it's just
Cool.
like it's such a gem. Like if I were hear this randomly, like
Yeah.
in like one of your sets, I'd be like, whoa, like
Yeah.
this is so cool. It shows your range,
Oh,
and
thank you.
it actually I feel like it shows off your musical knowledge as well.
Mm.
Um, which is just like it's just exciting for music nerds out there, you
Yeah.
know? So I love
What's I think it will be fun, and thank you. I think it will be fun. So I put my name in for at the Portland airport. They do people can volunteer to play music throughout the
nice.
concourse. Yeah, it's really cool actually. And it's quiet, but so they're opening a new terminal and they're going to have a new round of auditions for performers. So
Nice.
this felt like something I wasn't planning it this way, but as I listened back to it, I think this played at like a kind of a quiet ambient, as you're
Yeah.
walking through an airport terminal, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this would be a nice kind of vibe. So
Uh,
that's my worry is there's a lot of lyrics in here and there's nothing really catchy. So I'm going to have to remember,
mm,
it's going to take me a while, I think, just to kind of learn the lyrics.
I know what you mean.
But yeah,
I
yeah,
think
I had a really good time. And again, to your point earlier, like it being an experiment, there was something really interesting when I was like, I don't have the chops to, make this pure boss. And I also like, I started messing around on the keyboard and that was like, I don't, I don't even know where to start with all these chords. Uh, so it was really kind of liberating to, at a certain point, to just go like, just do something and,
I love
whatever.
that.
So
That's really cool. That
yeah,
it's interesting. I feel like we kind of had a similar
went through
approach.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird. I love it. I think like
Cool.
this things like this solidify like so much of like I don't know, like okay, the song that I wrote today, which was
Hmm.
also kind of experimental on
Hmm.
my end,
Hmm.
solidified like I think my sound as an artist. Like it makes me understand it more
I see.
when I go in a different direction. I'm like, is
Yeah.
this me? It's not me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
quite verbalize exactly what happened, but um I feel like even if it's like I still don't know how I feel about this song, but
Yeah.
um even if it's not something that I ever release or play,
Hmm.
I feel like I've learned a great deal. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I saw some videos of you with your child
Hmm.
practicing. And I was like, that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Man.
you're doing the work. I loved it. So
Yeah, a little distracting. He bit a piece of foam off of this thing.
classic. Time for a new one.
Plastic babies. My
Don't worry, the
God.
podcast will pay for it. It's
It's a
all our
tax write-off, right?
all our
Yeah.
revenue.
So excited. All right, I'm gonna buy a Neumann microphone. Can't wait. Anyway,
Funny. Yeah, let's hear
oh
this banger. Let's hear
hey.
this creepy I think you said creepy song.
Just like how do I even explain it? You know what? I'm not gonna
It's fine.
bother.
Hey,
Yeah, let's
you don't gotta.
all right, here
What's it?
we
Do you have a thought in mind as a title? I know it says untitled, but
I don't
okay.
know, no,
Okay.
but maybe you can suggest one at the
Okay.
end. All right, here we go. Oh. I know for certain, I know for certain I am right. I'm trying my best to change the world overnight. My love is pure, my love is brighter than the sun. I am important, I'm so important, aren't we all? One in a million, one in a billion, like the stars. Somebody loves me like their own. I am a vision, I am a vision in his eyes. I am special, I am so special, aren't we all, aren't we all, aren't we all? You are my one and you are my one and only. For you I'd gladly, for you I'd gladly give my life. You are the reason, you are the reason that I breathe. You are the only, you are the only thing I need. But aren't we all? Aren't we all? I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be wanted. I just wanted to be wanted. I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be something. I just wanted to be something. But don't we all? Don't we all? Don't we all? Don't we all? Don't we all?
Woo. You said creepy. This is heartbreaking in a
Ooh.
great way. Like different than and it maybe heartbreaking is the wrong word. First of all, great song, Hosanna. Love this song. Love the vibe, love the instrumentation, love the performance. I mean, a classic Hatori banger.
Thank you.
Woo. Mm, buzzing. Great lyrics too. I just thought it was real, like how kind of simple
Mhm.
everything is, and how your lyrics feel layered, like the music is layered. You know what I
Interesting.
mean? Um, yeah. So this resonated with me a lot. Like I just generally really liked everything. I read myself into this story like right away, or right into, or not the story, but the lyrics right away. I think people will generally. Um, man, at about measure 89 or wherever that is, where that second Steinway comes in, like,
Aw.
woo, mm, mm, mm,
I I
amazing.
was like on the like because it's mostly like this, it's
Yeah,
just voice
yeah.
piano, and I wanted to drag it out to be like it, but it felt so uncomfortable for me
Oh, okay.
because it's very like, well, it's a super simple melody that is
Yeah,
very repetitive, and like it's basically two chords for that whole thing. So it
sure.
felt like I felt this panic in me that was like, I have to do more, I have to do, you know.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
I think that was the point, of this
mm-hmm.
of the song. At least it felt like it for me, is like I wanted to contrast like just how ordinary
Yes.
um like
Gosh.
most like our most profound feelings, revelations and things,
Yeah.
the things that we're like I honestly I thought about my son a lot while writing.
Interesting.
Like
Huh.
I can't imagine caring more for, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and if I feel like I love my child more than anybody possibly ever could, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we all do. Like we all feel just like the gravity of uniqueness, I guess, or
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's like the most, yeah, it's the commonness of what's so extraordinary
Yeah.
of life. And yeah, I didn't really know how to like I was stuck here for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
This all kinda happened in the last hour or so.
Interesting.
Um,
Today?
Today, yes. Like
Wow.
I literally was I played this little piano part as you had already sent me the Zoom link and I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, this was very last minute, but
I I thought it was so like everything about this is so to me it comes off as so well crafted.
wow, thank you because it was I think my plans for this
Mm-hmm.
song were very experimental.
Mm-hmm.
The execution of it felt very uncomfortable.
Okay.
That makes
I,
sense.
I I get what you're saying, like in terms of because so I know that I'm not probably a normal listener in
Mhm.
this context, right? Because I get when I get excited when I get to hear one of your songs. And I think you're probably the same with mine, right? It's like because we're in this together and I know what it's like and the whole thing, but I get excited. Um, so I'm probably more, you know what
In
I
that,
mean? Like no matter I'll endure
yeah,
it could be used just slapping on the desk and mashing the keyboard. And I'll probably be like, that was really interesting, Hosanna. You know what I mean?
totally, totally.
That being said,
Yeah,
I didn't feel at any point like this was like, let's wrap it up or let's move along. I do think the where you took it again with that second part at like measure 89 or so was, I mean, perfect is a strong word, but I was like, yes, I was ready to go where you were taking me there musically. It felt really good and really like captured my ear. I think too, if you were, let's say you did release this song, I think you'd have something else through there, right? You'd have some kind of like an ambient
yeah,
kind of drone guitar or some version of like some other, just something kind of sonic tickle of your ears. That's my suspicion.
yeah.
Um, but it makes sense to me that you'd feel that like, oh my gosh, I keep playing the same thing over and over again. But as a listener who was getting eaten up by these lyrics, uh, I liked it. I liked how it all worked together.
Okay. So yeah, it's crazy, and I don't know if you experience this while you're writing, but as I'm writing, especially when it comes to melody and chords progressions, I I always lean towards complexity. Like
Mm,
I want it
yeah,
to be more interesting, more complex, more impressive.
yeah,
Uh, and but the reason for that isn't even for my own sake. I just think I like want people to think that I know what I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah. Right.
And
It's funny.
and
Yes.
it's crazy. Like in this context, it was. I think that's the reason I struggled so much with
Mm,
this, is because I just wasn't letting myself just write a song. You know, uh,
yes.
let it be for something that is what it is.
I mean,
Um,
I
yeah.
relate to that, especially this week, because I don't even know if what I wrote was a bossa nova. You know what I'm
I
saying? Like,
honestly, I couldn't tell you
yeah.
either. I don't know.
So, and I don't, if anybody's ever going to listen to these episodes, but that was a fear of mine as well as like somebody's going to listen to this and go, you fucking moron. That's not a bossa nova. That's a bossa dorado. I heard that term. You know what I mean? But so I can relate to that. Like somebody's going to hear this and go, well, technically Mixolydian, you should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it was I had so much insecurity going into this because
Hmm.
I'm like, well, someone's gonna be like, actually,
Yeah.
no, you're in this mode, but with
Yeah.
a flat five. I don't know who
Yeah.
like who cares.
Yeah.
But
Who
yeah,
cares is ultimately
who
right
cares?
because you created beautiful art. And I'm not using the word beautiful lightly. Like I really, really was found this moving and impactful. Um, yeah, it was dope. I mean, such a
And
beautiful song.
yeah, this was a very interesting week. Like
Yeah.
I did feel very heavy about it as well, like
Hmm.
lyrically. I knew that I wanted to write something that was depressing. I mean, it's depressing and heartbreaking, I think you said.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I could go on like this is a philosophical journey for me.
for sure.
Um because I'm like I there's a balance of like I love feeling very insignificant. Like
Hmm.
I like the concept of like space and
Hmm.
time and
Hmm.
feeling like our lives are so small and insignificant, and that's comforting to me on some level.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, how could I be so insignificant when I feel
Hmm.
just like the gravity of so much of what's going on around me. Yeah,
Meaning,
and
excuse me, meaning.
yeah, meaning. Yeah, we
Hmm.
like want meaning so badly, but it's
Hmm.
almost terrifying.
I've thought a lot about, not to get too esoteric space wise, but I've thought about like if you think about two black holes,
Mhm.
right? And I've watched these simulations in of like, over billions of years of these black holes kind of circling each other and then they collapse and collide. And like the sheer cosmic catastrophic destruction that happens, right? And that is on a scale that's beyond anything you or I could ever experience or comprehend.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm really stressed out about work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean anything to me, but it's like, and it's weird to me that I'm going, and I guess it's because we place a meaning on life, maybe that, or on our own lives and our own consciousness. But it is kind of bizarre and really arrogant, I guess. I kind of feel arrogant sometimes when I think about like the scale that the things I might be stressed about versus the actual things I know are happening, the destruction and chaos
Yeah.
and catastrophe. And it's only because of my own consciousness,
Hmm.
that I think is so important. So, anyways, I know that's like unimportant nerd stuff, but I
Totally.
do think about that.
Okay, well, I'm glad that somebody else thinks about it
Yeah.
because I'm like the average listener out there, like would they hear this and be like,
Right.
whoa, this person like they're like all the
Yeah.
therapists are like diagnosing me as some song, you know?
Well, they did that in season one when was it episode 6?
Something like that.
They're like, how do I get this girl's number?
Oh my God. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Exactly. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I loved it. I didn't just enjoy it, Jose, I really liked it. I
Oh,
really liked that song. I think "Aren't We All" is a great title, personally.
you know what? Yes, thank you. That's probably exactly what it needs to be.
Y- And I really, again, just thinking back through the lyrics, your opening verse was really compelling. I mean, I
Mm,
liked it throughout, but that sense of like, I want to change I think it was my love is pure, my love is bright. I want to change the world overnight. Like, woo, because it's not just me, right? I feel that, but there's a lot of people that come to my mind, um, friends and loved ones that come to my mind in that vein as well. And like there's a lot at stake
yeah.
in what I believe, or um, that my life has to count for something. You know what I mean? It is kind of how at least that's what sprung up in my heart when I was listening to that. So it was really
Well,
good.
yeah, I mean, I could talk about this forever. This
Yeah.
is like one of those things I'm like always baffled by. Um, because I like to tie it into like the well, what's right and wrong,
Mm,
and why is it right and wrong?
mm-hmm,
And especially if there is no meaning to anything,
mm-hmm,
or if there is, like we
mm-hmm.
claim that every single life matters, but we don't behave that way, and
Yeah.
it does, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
the push and pull of all of that is
Mhm.
fascinating to me. But anyway,
You know, it's funny. I wrote the line in that song, and didn't spend too much time on it, but it was I see truth dissipate like smoke. And
mm,
I wasn't thinking like, oh, that's how I feel, but it's more like the closer or the actually, I think it's probably the opposite. The bigger step I take back from all of this, the less sure I am about what
mhm.
I actually think is true.
Which is again, I feel like it goes hand in hand with like what I was writing about. It's just like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
just what?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
but
Awesome.
I love it. We are like on the same
Yeah.
wavelength, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is definitely we should write an album, you know?
We should. What would we call our band name? Wild Prawns. I don't know. We'll workshop it.
On prawns?
Yeah.
Prongs.
Prawns. Prawns. The shrimp.
Oh, you know
No, I'm
what?
kidding.
I'm cool with it. Let's go with it. All right, I'm writing that down. I'm gonna buy the website right now.
Wildprawns.gov.
Go
Biz.
.edu.
Edu.
Anyway,
Oh,
well, awesome.
fantastic.
This was
That
dope.
Yeah, that
I,
was thank you for writing such a great song. And thanks for liking mine.
yes, I actually
Mhm.
really want to. Can you send me the lyrics to
Yeah.
that song?
Mhm. Yep, I will.
I have a lot to think about, but
Cool.
it's very cool.
That was week 5.
Yeah.
We're on to week 6. So we have this week and then 2 after.
Wow. Are we already? Wow. That was fast. Any challenges, prompts, ideas for this next week?
That's a good question. It's always interesting when you finish your song, 26 minutes before you're always like, oh, we got to do this again. Uh, I don't think so, but I am, you know, I do definitely, and again, this is part of kind of what you hinted at, like the voice. Sometimes the voice is helpful and sometimes the voice is like full of shit, right? But there is a lot of like, been doing a lot of guitar lately, buddy. A lot of guitar going on. So I kind of feel like the drums vocal part again might be fun.
That'll be really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely out of my wheelhouse.
Mm,
But I think it'd be fun. And I mean, it's the cool thing is like for any of this stuff, it's gonna sound like me. You know what I mean?
mm.
I can't write rap or I can't be Freddie Mercury or whatever, but it's gonna end up sounding like Jeremy, which I think that's the fun kind of version of creating art generally. So yeah, I don't know. I may go back to that. But I haven't really thought about it. Sorry, that's a long answer to say I
Oh,
don't know.
that's great. That's great.
How about you?
I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, I think I want to try on a different instrument
Hmm.
as well. I don't know what that means, but yeah,
I
I'll either
did.
try to program a drum beat
Hmm,
or go back to the guitar and see what happens.
yeah, I did recently learn about a baritone recorder. You
What?
know the doo 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 doo. But there's like
Yeah.
a bear. This guy built one out of it's like
What?
8 feet tall or 6 feet tall or something. And instead of the holes, he had to create like a key. So it's like a big square, flat square thing that you press that presses down because they were too big. The holes were too big. I'll see if I can find the video and send it to you.
Send it. That's
So
hilarious.
if that
Okay,
is
so
yeah.
challenge this week is to build your own instrument and play play a song on that. There we
Yeah.
go.
Actually, you had a great idea in season 1 week of recording sounds from around the house.
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need to do. I'm gonna try. I will see. We'll
Okay.
see. It
Yeah.
depends on my time management skills, but
it,
we'll see.
if your 2 minute song, do you remember
Yes.
I watched that again the other day. It was really funny. So if you can do that, you can do anything, Hosanna.
Amazing.
So
Well,
all right.
wonderful time as always.
We did
We'll
it.
did it again. Woohoo. Um, and same time next week, right?
Same
Oh,
time.
well, next week probably us on Saturday. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll be good.
yeah,
We'll do it on Cinco de Mayo again next week.
that's right.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
Bye.